Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Before we get started, I just wanted to wish you all a happy Thanksgiving and also remind you that tomorrow, the day following, is also Native American Heritage Day here in the US. I'm so thankful for this awesome community, and I hope that you're all doing well and spending quality time with your loved ones. Today I want to talk to you about 52-year-old Dee Ann Warner, who was last seen in late April. I've actually been following her case from the very beginning, but there has been so little information out there that I couldn't really make a video. Her case has received little to no attention for some reason, even with Lenawee County. In fact, Dee had been missing for over a week before news of her disappearance began circulating. However, there finally has been an update, so let's go ahead and get into it. Dee Ann Warner was last seen at her home on Munger Road in Franklin Township, Michigan. She lives in a rural area, pretty much on farmland, and her family farms about 3,000 acres. It hasn't been clarified if Dee was allegedly picked up by someone or if she allegedly left on foot, but reports state that she was last seen either on the evening of April 24th or on the early morning hours of the 25th. The majority of her belongings, along with her vehicle, were left at her residence. Her purse and cell phone, however, are missing, and that's led some to speculate that Dee left on her own and took her phone and purse with her. Initially, investigators seemed hopeful that Dee was out there and that she would be back or make contact with her family. However, as time goes on, they're not so sure. Numerous searches have been conducted of her home, and in October, the FBI were at her residence. Nearby surrounding areas, including a large field, have also been searched, and in all, hundreds of acres have been searched using sonar, canines, helicopters, and more.
Kimberly, take a look. This is the Warner family home. You can see that they've got it cordoned off with crime scene tape. A look further down, you've got two sheriff's mobile command units. They have gone through the house, they have gone through the barns, and they're doing a grid search of nearby farmland. When she was first reported missing, the Lenawee County Sheriff's Department searched hundreds of acres of nearby farmland with dogs and drones and came up with nothing. Now, more than 5 months later, they're back with assistance from the FBI and MSP, and they're going over the farm property with ground-penetrating radar and dogs and looking in specific areas and marking off certain areas. Clearly, they want to revisit those soon. Today wasn't necessarily about new tips, but it was about timing. These fields have been cleared, so it's a good day to come out here with that ground-penetrating radar, and it is before hunting season, so he is hopeful that his crews out here have come up with something.
I'm Ian Wendt, reporting live on scene here at the corner of Carson Highway and Munger Road in Franklin Township, northern Lenawee County, as the search for missing woman Dee Ann Warner is ongoing. The excavator that you see in the picture now has been here since around 5 o'clock late this afternoon, and they have been out there digging in a nearby field for roughly an hour.
Like I said in the beginning, news about Dee was scarce and the discussion was limited. Some family members really didn't want speculation into what potentially happened, and they made that very clear on various social media platforms, which kind of confused community members. Some were pointing to legal affairs that Dee had been involved in as a potential explanation for her disappearance or as reason for her to maybe leave. However, based on the recent investigative efforts and searches, it doesn't seem like authorities believe that to be the case. On November 13th, Dee's brother, Greg Hardy, finally made a statement during a vigil for his sister. He stated, "I have failed to speak out before because I didn't want to interfere with the investigation, but I think it's important to clarify a few things." He then went on to explain that he believes that valuable time has been wasted and that Dee wouldn't run off without her belongings or telling her family goodbye. The family also revealed news that, in my opinion, changes everything in this case. On the night that she disappeared, Dee had been in a fight with her husband, Dale. She was allegedly going to confront him and ask for a divorce, and I have been able to confirm that she wanted to leave him with her family. On the evening of her disappearance, a little before 8 p.m., a friend came over to pick up the couple's daughter so that they could work out their issues and talk about their problems. However, a few hours later, at around 11 p.m., all communication with Dee stopped. Since then, Dale hasn't made any public pleas and has mostly been absent.
So the big question for me has been, and wanted to clarify, is what really happened on the fateful night of April 24th and the early morning hours of April 25th. Big fight going on between Dee and Dale Warner, Todd Nerick, and Terry Nerick's wife. That's documented by text messages that I've had to view. Amy picked Angelina up at 7:42 p.m. on Saturday night the 24th. And shortly after that point, she and Dale, according to Dee's texts, were going to talk things through. At that point, no one else was around. Dee's phone did not transmit any messages sometime after 11 p.m. on Saturday night the 24th. Dee was discovered missing approximately 9 a.m. on April 25th by Raquel, who had come there for breakfast. Dale Warner claimed to know nothing about where Dee was when asked by family members looking for Dee on Sunday morning. By evening on April 24th, when Dee could not be found, I approached Dale and asked him what was going on. He proceeded to give me a story about how Dee had vanished without a car, without taking Angelina, without anything at all. And quite frankly, I considered it a concocted story at the time. There was nothing indicating she was leaving, but rather she was planning on confronting Dale when he returned home around 8 p.m. that night.
All of this paints a very different picture than that of Dee running off and starting a new life somewhere. In my opinion, an arrest will hopefully be made soon. A Facebook group called Justice for Dee has been started, and I will share the link for that in the description if you're interested in joining. Dee's family and loved ones insist that she wouldn't leave on her own and that she loves her family very much. She is a devoted mother, grandmother, and friend, and my heart breaks for her loved ones. If you have any information, please contact the number in the description below. That's all I have for this case. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in my next one.